All right, so yesterday we did, I think we did program structures and a few of those. It was loops, if statements, switch statements, while loops, while do statements, all of that, interesting stuff. So I went through the function sections on my own time, and I just wanted to go over the solutions with this. So, okay, let's read this. We did do a similar thing in the previous one. We were looking at, okay, we're seeing that we've used, yeah, this function, this operator to test whether number is even or odd by using, yeah, okay, but there's another way that we can do it, and this is the way of recursion. If you don't know what recursion is when you call a function inside of a function. You'll understand in a few seconds what that means. What that means is, if you've taken some mathematical courses or classes, recursion, what it does is, it calls the function and keeps putting it in the call stack. I probably might do a different video and explain to you guys what a call stack is and what recursion in retrospect means. But what we're trying to do is we're going to create a function which is going to be const is even, okay, and okay. It takes a single parameter which is going to be n, it says, or we can just put it n. Um, okay, so one first condition is that if it's 0, then it's going to be even. So just going to say if n equally, we can either do this or we can do this. The difference between this two equal signs is that it's only equal to, which is a loosely comparison. But if you do it three times, that means it's not comparing just the value, but also the data type, right? So that is, I usually do it this way just to make it more strict. Um, so we just say if it's 0, that would mean it's even, right? So I'm gonna return true, right? Else it's gonna be if statement again. Um, Else if n is going to be either 1, then that would mean it's odd, right? So it's odd, sorry, false. Always remember to comment your code just because it makes it easier. One thing that I learned about programming in yesterday's video was, that program something and be sure to race to your failure, because as you stack up enough failure, you're getting to the success in programming, at least because you're doing the wrong answers again and again, and you're getting close to the correct answer. So I've been trying to do that for the past like 2 days, and that's kind of helped me, and I've not been using ChatGPT. I sometimes do, but it depends on the situation. um, okay. Okay. So now is where the funny thing is gonna happen, right? If the number that was given doesn't fall in these conditions, then we need to do some manipulation. We need to figure out how do we even get to 0 and 1. Well, it's already told us you just n minus 2. Because, yeah, so we're gonna say is even, and we're gonna say, what do we call it? N minus 2. So that should do it, but sometimes it might not work. Okay, okay, undefined. Okay, undefined. I get undefined. Okay, you get undefined because of two reasons, or I could have. I already see my other mistake that I made. It's in this line. Um, so if there's a return statement and it doesn't have an expression, then that's the first way that it can get undefined. And the second way it can get undefined is if there's no return statement. You can already see here there's no return statement. So we need to do it like this, and it should give me, look, that's nice. It's 10, let's just say 100. Oh, I'm not gonna do 100 because that might, let's just do 5. Okay, that's also gonna be false. Nice. So this works. I'm happy about that. We're going to do bean counting because that's done. This is an error that it already wanted us to see. Because if we have -1, we're gonna have a stack. Uh, yeah, we're gonna have a call stack sequence exceeded. Yeah, it is a unlimited recursive function because with -2 it's always it will never get to this condition. It will keep on running this again and again and again, and it would, there's a limit to how stuff works. You get a okay, nth character or letter from a string. Okay, after a string. Okay, okay, we already know if it says that this means 0 1 2, we will get r. So okay, string dot length would give us the string length, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. -1 would be the last position, it says. So that would mean the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, 5. Okay, okay. So first we'll do this. Write a function and then next. Okay, I'm not going to read that yet. So, okay, we're gonna say const exactly how. Okay, one more thing with functions, you can write function in a lot of different ways. You can either write it this way, okay, or you could write it this way. I love to write it this way because it makes arrow functions so much easier. And there's a few other advantages of using arrow functions, but I'm not gonna talk about that yet. Okay, so it only takes a character, so of the one parameter, and it's trying to returns number that indicates number how many. Okay, how many? So that would mean I need a count. So I'm just gonna say that. So this is a global for the whole thing. I need an iterator for everything. I'm going to iterate over all the strings of characters. So I'm going to say let I equals to 0. Yes, I is always going to be less than the length of that string. Length -1. Yeah. Because if I don't do -1, it will go over the array. Like it's going to try to access the sixth, which we don't want because it's going to be outside. We're going to get a outside of the list. And yeah, it's going to cause us problems. And this is just problems. Okay. Here, what we're going to have is we're going to say if the string or yeah, the character which is in this position is equal strict, and it's going to be capital B. If it's that, then that would mean we need to count. Yes, +1. This just increments. Else, um, you just continue. So what continue does is it will just continue with the next iteration. Let me figure out which block do I want to go in now. Yeah, this one. And we're just going to return back count. This is a very easy one. I may be wrong, to be honest, because I didn't run. Okay, it works. No, it does not. Um, why doesn't it work? It just says 1. It's supposed to be 2. If string equal to b. Huh, why is it saying 1? Interesting. Interesting. I am very amazed. Oh, you know why? Look, you see, in JavaScript, you have to do this, or it's not gonna work. But it didn't work still. Amazing. Okay, I need to see where the problem is now. Let count is let's just do var. Bobby. Where did count? Hello. Why is it one then? It's not counting the last one. Um, is less than equal to. Oh yeah, no, that works because it was less than, so it wasn't counting the last. Yeah, it wasn't counting the last one. Okay, yeah, that works now. Okay. So now it says count. We have not. Okay. Write the function this behaves like it counts b, except it takes a argument that indicates the character that it needs to be counted. Okay. So we're going to just say count character, and what it gets is two, which is the string, and also the character, and basically it takes the character and just calls count b and just gives in the string and character. Now, problem. First problem, you can already see where we're giving it two characters. There are two parameters. Counts b only takes one. So that would mean we need to say character. But the other problem that I saw, it's sending Bobby, and we don't want this to not work. We want this to work as well. So I can, because I know some JavaScript with that, or Py or programming, I know that we can actually give a default value to this parameter. Like even if I don't give anything, this becomes like an optional character or parameter, which could get a value. It couldn't. It's still gonna try to find B. And here I will have to say character. Character, sometimes just count. Nice, looks nice. It's finding K, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say cat. That needs to be K. Yes, looks nice, amazing. Whoa, okay, that ends my video. Wow, I was hoping for it to be more. Well, tomorrow we will be doing the fourth one, but for now, um, for anybody confused, let's go over recursion if that's what you guys want to hear, because I want to revise my stuff as well. So a function that calls itself is called recursive. Okay. What is recursion then? Recursion allows some functions to be written in a different style. I, Basically meaning a function can live inside of a function, and it just is able to do a lot of good things. However, there's a few drawbacks about recursions. This does tell you about, even though mathematically recursion is really nice. However, when it comes to overall performance of a program, even it says, however, in typical JavaScript implementation is about 3 times slower than the version using a for loop. So you might as well just use a for loop, because later if you're in a computer science class as well, you learn about O notation, time complexity, how that is a major factor in running programs. So for loop is better than recursion for now. It depends on the application. This book teaches you how to write JavaScript in a model which is eloquent, and it's nice, it's readable, maintainable. However, it really doesn't focus on the speed side. However, this book is really nice for beginners because it teaches you how to, not just the concepts, because that's something that you'll have to pick up eventually in different languages, but it teaches you how everything can be done, and how it looks good in doing this, because in the software, the programming world, you're never going to be programming a software from scratch. There's always something that you will be building upon. So it's always best practice to leave behind the code base in the most maintainable and readable manner. And this also actually helps you with having a paradigm inside your head and thinking how a function would look like. One more thing I should have led this video with that. would be what is function? What do you mean by function? Well, function, you could probably read this quote. People think that computer science is an art of geniuses, but actually, in reality, it's the opposite. Just many people doing things that build on each other like a wall of mini stones. Build on each other. Function allows that. Functions allow you to modulize stuff. Of course, modules are something as well, but modules are made up of small functions. Functions is something that you can copy paste, take it to a different program and be like, okay, I can use that, change it a bit and make it work. Um, you probably might hear about different type of definitions, like for example, it says is a regular binding where the value of the binding is a function. Well, this kind of confused me a bit as well, but in JavaScript, understanding binding is very important. And unlearning the idea of variables or declaration of variables is good for your safety using JavaScript because you're actually defining bindings rather than variables. Like, and then scoping, a lot of those stuff is gonna come afterwards. I'm not gonna talk about that because that's a separate matter, and that's a concept that you will learn eventually. So binding is a name that you're just binding it to a thing. For example, in function, you're like how this works. They're binding the variable. That's not just called variable. The name binding. They're binding the square to the function where the function is the value of this square binding. That may be a bit confusing, but that is basically how it works. Because in binding, we've got scopes and whatnot. We're not going to go into that. So that kind of wraps up, like we've done, how many examples did we do? One, wait, oh, I forgot to do this one. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oof. Let me do this real quick. Okay, returns, okay. Okay, it wants us to create a min, which is just gonna be, it takes in two, so I'm gonna say A and B, and I'm going to use our ternary function. Ternary, what it does is, I'll go over it, right? It says it has a condition first, so it has a condition first, condition, and then this is a question where it asks the condition and then it says true if 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 true, return this value, and then we have this which separates the false value, and it says if false, return this. Okay, so in our condition, in our way, the condition I want to say is the most minimum, right? So we're just saying if a, if a is less than b, uh, that would mean that a is bigger, a is smaller. So that would mean I'm just gonna return a, and that would mean I'm just gonna return b on the other side if it's false. And yeah, yeah. Internally, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use these. Yeah, we're not supposed to. This is a ternary. May want to learn about this. May want to learn about what ternary function are. It's basically like an if statement. I could easily done this using an if statement, but this is really good to learn. Um, like it's easier as well. Like this. Let me show you. This is a one-liner function. It does the same thing. So I think that kind of wraps up everything. We did this minimum, we did a recursion, and we also did a bean counting. I mean, I don't know why it's called bean counting, but that's pretty much it. Next time we'll be doing data structures, which is the object arrays. I'm pretty much gonna have a lot of fun. So that is pretty much it. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.